Hello, YouTube. Bit by bit, I bring you lost pages or little known pages of the space exploration era. You won't read about it in major newspapers or magazines, but you need to understand there has been so much that we know very little about. Now, my expertise in the Soviet and Russian space programs, the American one, I'm sure there are people who know something about it and don't lie. That's most important. And don't pretend about phenomena that just doesn't exist. And of course, I try to bring you news about the China's space program because this is the dragon that is spreading its wings, and really they are doing a lot and have very interesting plans. But let me tell you today about an episode from the history of the Soviet space program. You know that the Soviet cosmonauts take some kind of miracle pills had always been suspected by the American special services, meaning intelligence, counterintelligence, and so forth. So a veteran of the Soviet military counterintelligence, former head of the department at the Cosmonaut Training Center, retired Colonel Nikolai Nikolaevich Rybkin, told Russian journalists that for a long time, experts of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in the United States had been trying to figure out the formula or get such medicine. We're speaking about those so-called miracle pills. See, American astronauts who had been in orbit with Soviet cosmonauts were sure that the medicines developed for this purpose helped to preserve the efficiency of Russian colleagues in a long flight. Actually, the Soviet space explorers themselves provoked the American guests of the orbital station to such assumptions, not only with their naturally excellent physical condition, but also just by joking, making fun. They sometimes drank super pills during lunch, which were actually soda pacifiers, so to say, and sometimes they ate soup from tubes with vodka labels ostentatiously pasted on them. Well, after that, as if nothing had happened, they performed the necessary research work. In the end, the U.S. intelligence officers found out that Soviet cosmonauts do not take any special drugs or medicine. But by that time, they were really created, those special drugs, and they began to be used for their intended purpose. Space medicine in the USSR developed simultaneously with space exploration. One of the doctors who stood at its origins was a Soviet physician, specialist of the Institute of Biomedical Problems, doctor of medical sciences, honored inventor of the Russian Soviet Federal Socialist Republic, Ivan Pavlovich Nemyafkin. Like his colleagues, he was well aware that almost all the methods of treatment that were used on Earth were not suitable for their use in weightlessness. Cosmonauts were particularly in need of a drug that allowed them to work calmly in outer space. Even the most prepared, cold-blooded, and balanced person cannot help but be nervous when he or she takes a step into the black abyss. Let him remain connected to the ship by a long halyard, so to say, to which the air is supplied. His or her emotional state at such moment is still far from the ideal. In the 1970s, only sedatives were used in the USSR to calm the human nervous system, but they all affect in such a way that it is almost impossible to perform mental and physical work. The patient certainly tends to sleep. Therefore, under the leadership of Dr. Nemyafkin, Soviet pharmacists developed a medicine that allowed a person to calmly treat any frightening situation, and at the same time, his brain activity remained at its height, at its best, at its utmost. This substance is beta-phenyl-gamma-aminobutyric acid, under the name phenibut or phenibut. The medicine began to be used in a regular space first aid kit, and since 1975, it was mandatory to take Phenibut 20 minutes before going into outer space. In the future, all Soviet cosmonaut pilots who went overboard outside the orbital station interstellar space said that working in outer space leaves an unforgettable feeling of delight and pride in their effectiveness. There was no question of any fear, but from the fact that a special drug is used to perform such a complex and dangerous task, no one has made a secret. Now, there are secrets that we cannot even guess about the space programs of the major world powers, and I think it's going to be regional powers too, but it's all very interesting. So I will try to bring you more episodes of cosmonaut encounters with strange phenomena, and you can see a lot in my videos, and I'll attach a playlist in the description to this video so you understand. I'm doing my best, and it's so interesting to find out what's going on in outer space. But understand, I believe that those space explorers, be they taikonauts, astronauts, or the cosmonauts, are really brave people, and they risk everything. And many of them don't have long lifespans, but they're the best of mankind, in my opinion, looking outward. The issue is whether human beings can be in outer space for a long time. And I presented to you all points of view. And I am not too positive that this is possible, but science is ever changing, and we make new discoveries. If you like my research, please support me through the links you will find in the description to this video. Please tell others about my channel. I'd like to see more people looking at my videos. And please, of course, like my videos, and thank you for your attention.